Today we're going to be taking a look at logarithmic change of base. So if you are calculating a log and you find that you would like to change the base to something different, there is actually a formula for that. This formula is also located in your reference package, but our formula is if I have log base b of x and I would like to change that base to something different, I can change the base to something different and do log base a of x, but then I also have to divide by log base a of what my old base used to be. So we're going to take a look at some examples of how to do that. And we're going to start by evaluating log base 9 of 729 4 different ways. So one of them is just exactly how we normally do logs, and then the other three will be using our change of base formula. So we're going to start with just log base 9 of 729 without a calculator. So I am going to look at my power sheet. I'm going to look at my powers of 9, and I notice that 729 is 9 to the power of 3. So I can rewrite this, I moved my page, as log base 9 of 9 to the 3. And logs are all about figuring out what the exponent is, so this just equals 3. Okay, our second method also is supposed to be without a calculator. So anytime we're using a method where we're not using a calculator, you usually want to try to use your reference package. So I want to see, is there some other base that 729 is also a power of? So if I take a look, right, it is 9 to the 3, but I also see 729 listed as 3 to the power of 6. So I think another way for us to evaluate this might be to use a base of 3 instead of a base of 9. So we're going to try changing the base to base 3 instead, because that's also something that has the 729. So if I wanted to change my base from 9 to 3, first I do that. So I'm going to say this is log base 3 of 729. But I can't just ignore that the base used to be a 9, so we divide by log base 3, so the new base that we're trying to use, of our old base, which was 9, right? This is that formula right there, right? You take log of your new base of the argument divided by log of the new base of the old base. All right, from here, I can use my power sheet to figure this out. So 729 is 3 to the power of 6. So this is log base 3 of 3 to the power of 6. And then 9 is 3 to the power of 2. So this is log base 3 of 3 to the power of 2. Okay, log base 3 of 3 to the 6 equals 6. Log base 3 of 3 to the 2 equals 2. And then 6 divided by 2, I'm out of space, equals 3, which is the same answer that I got when we just evaluated it using the power sheet. Okay, so we're going to try 2 more ways, but this time using our calculator. So I noticed on my sheet, I didn't see 729 show up anywhere else. So trying to do base 5 or base 2 or base 6 isn't really going to work out for us. But our calculator does know how to do a couple of different types of logs. Now it's not showing up very well, it's kind of dark. My calculator here has a button that says log, and it also has a button that says ln. Log is log base 10. Ln is log base E, or Euler's number. So I could do base 10 or base E and then use my calculator. Some of you might have a calculator that allows you to put any base in, but the majority of calculators do not. So I'm going to start with log base 10. So I'm going to try to change this to log base 10. So I have log base 9 of 729. So I'm going to do log base 10. I don't have to write the 10, right? That's the nice thing about log base 10. So we're going to do log of 729. So we're changing it to base 10, but you have to divide by the base as well. So we're going to do log base 10, or just log of our old base, which is 9. And then I'm going to use my calculator to do this. Now this particular calculator, I can see what I type in on the screen. So if I want to work this out, I would do log bracket 729, close bracket, divided by log bracket 9 bracket. And then I'm going to hit equals. And I get 3, which is the same answer I got the last 2 times that we did it. Now, if you have a calculator where you don't see the log on the screen, it's a lot like doing trig. You have to do argument first and then the log. So you would do 729 log and then divided by 9 log, right? Okay, there's one more. So the other base that my calculator understands is log base E, or ln. So I'm going to try using ln this time. So I'm going to do ln of 729. And then we have to divide by ln of our old base, which would be 9. And if I do that on this calculator, I would do ln bracket 729 divided by ln and then bracket 9. If you have a calculator where you don't see what you type in, you would do 729 ln divided by 9 ln and then equals. And it also equals 3. So we got the same answer 3 different ways. One was very straightforward. We just figured it out using our power sheet. One where we tried to write it as a different base that was on our power sheet that we could evaluate that number with. And then 2 where we just used log base 10 and log base E on our calculator. So if I have to use a calculator, my choice really is between doing log and ln. It is your choice. I kind of like ln a little bit better, but it really doesn't make a difference. So we do have just 3 quick examples here where we are going to try using a calculator to evaluate. So I have log base 4 of 32. So it says use change of base to evaluate with a calculator. So I am going to use ln. You can use log. It does not matter. So this, I'm going to do ln of my old base, so 32, divided by ln of my old base, 4. By the way, I think I said the wrong thing. We're doing ln of our argument, 32, divided by ln of our old base, which is 4. All right, so I'm going to do ln of 32 divided by ln of 4, and I get 2.5. So that one doesn't need to be rounded because it worked out exactly. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So I have log base 9 of 2,187. So this is log or ln, your choice. I'm going to do ln of 2,187 divided by ln of 9. All right, so argument on the top, base on the bottom. All right, so let's take a look. So ln of 2,187 and then divided by ln 9 gives me 3.5. Also did not need to be rounded. Sometimes they do. I think the next one definitely will. All right, last one here, I have log base pi of 528,810. So same thing, I'm going to change this to ln. You could just do log. So I'm going to do 528,810 on the top, and then do ln of pi on the bottom. Okay, so ln of 528,810, and then divided by ln of pi, trying to find that on this calculator, there we go, equals this. Now it did say to round to 2 decimal places if necessary, so that would be 11.51. I take a peek at that next digit, it's a 2, so that's going to stay 11.51. And I'm going to put a dot to show that I did round that and that it's an approximate value. Okay, so that was it for change of base. Lots of practice on that sheet for you to try. All right, have a great rest of your day.